Am I reading this right? Again, folks, please tell me how this isn't some kind of a coup. I'm open to hearing it. How in their own documents, the tip folks are telling you what they're going to do. And I want to warn you that this stuff is intense. Really intense. And you need to be ready to digest it all because, in my humble opinion, it is the most important story right now being ignored by the mainstream media. And it's causing me a bit of an issue because outside of a few people in the conservative media discussing what the Democrats are planning, not many other people are talking about it. And therefore, I'm getting emails like, Dan, if this is such an important story, the coup the Democrats are planning, then why is no one else talking about it? Exactly. I don't know. What is the coming coup? Well, I work at Fox as a contributor, and I've been highlighting two specific groups associated with Democrats and rabid never-Trumpers, two groups. And every time I mention them on Fox, I get probably 50 or 60 emails. Dan, what were those two groups? So those of you who watch the show, you know what they are, but I'll repeat them again. The Transition Integrity Project, look it up, and Defeat Disinfo, which again should be called Promote Disinformation, because that's what they're doing. Now, these are just two groups of many. There's a number of groups out there, but these are the two right now that I'm going to highlight because I want to isolate them and make sure you know exactly what they're doing, that are marshaling this effort to do two things post-election. Part of their coup plans. Yes, coup. Don't use that word. I don't care what you think of it. That's what it is. So these two groups want to do two things. They want to cause a street fight after the election. That's a quote from the Transition Integrity Project, this group of never-Trump lunatics and Democrats. Again, Joe, you notice the interesting wording of the group, the Transition Integrity Project. It should be called the Transition Chaos Project. That's really what it is. It's like Black Lives Matter. The group isn't about Black lives. It's about Marxism and chaos. But if we call it Black Lives Matter, people believe us. The same thing with the tip. The Transition Integrity Project is a blueprint to cause chaos after the election. That's exactly what it is. So they want to do it again with Defeat Disinfo, do two things. They want to cause a street fight after the election, and they want to use insurgency tactics our military and intelligence community has used overseas to destroy regimes overseas right here at home within the United States. Gosh, that sounds troubling, no? You'd think. But suspiciously, not that many people are talking about this. I wonder why. How these two groups, Defeat Disinfo and the Transition Integrity Project, we'll call it the TIP, how the TIP and them are openly planning post-election chaos, coup-like activities, and nobody's talking about it but here. You don't believe me? Here's the mainstream media kind of hinting at what's coming while avoiding the appropriate terminology. By the way, the terminology the TIP has used themselves. We are preparing for a street fight, quote, not a legal one.
Right.
That's a quote.
Right.
From them, not me. We saw it. We played it last week. Here's the New York Times by Shane Goldmacher. Biden creates a legal war room, preparing for a big fight over voting. Let me translate that headline. Biden preparing for chaos after Election Day. He says, with two former solicitor generals and hundreds of lawyers, and hundreds of lawyers, I do that all the time. The Biden campaign is bracing for an extended legal battle and hoping to maintain trust in the electoral process. Let me translate the subtext there. The subtitle there says, we're hiring a bunch of lawyers to cause chaos after the election and sow distrust in the election system. That's what's really going on, folks. I want to move on to this other article in the National Pulse. This is Raheem Kassam's site. Very good piece. Where they're talking about the Transition Integrity Project's own document where they say, folks, get ready for a street fight, not a legal one. Their words, folks, not mine. Preparing for a street fight? Why is this not on the news every day? Don't know. Somebody trying to hide something? Well, the answer is yes, because the first rule of the coup, according to Michael Anton's great piece about the coup, is never talk about the coup. The second rule is blame the coup on your opponent. We'll get to that in a minute, too. So how are these two groups going to do this? How are they going to engage in the street fight? Well, the street fight literally means the street fight, but there are other tools they're going to use as well. Let's go to screenshot number one from a terrific National Pulse piece I'd like you to check out, please. It is in my show notes today. Again, go to bongino.com/newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. I'll send you these articles. The National Pulse headline revealed Soros election coup playbook demanding America abandons constitutional norms and prepares for a, quote, street fight. National Pulse. This is that transition integrity project. So how are they going to do it outside of just the raw violence they're planning in the streets? Again, street fight, their words, not mine, not mine. Let's go to screenshot number 1. This is interesting. On pages 5 and 13 of the TIPS document, they demand social media and the establishment media try to stack the deck against Trump in the aftermath of the election. Okay, folks, here's a quote from the actual TIP document planning for a coup after the election. Social media platforms should also elevate trustworthy officials. Trustworthy, Joe. Let me translate that again. Liberal blue check marks on Twitter. That's what they mean. Social media platforms should also elevate trustworthy officials and accurate information. Let me translate accurate information. That means information that says Joe Biden won, even if he didn't. They should remove lies and disinformation. Let me translate that part. That means anyone saying Trump won, even if we did. Back to the thing. And refuse to give voice to those provoking or organizing violent action. They're asking, wait, keep that up. They're asking for a street fight, and they're talking about pulling people off, promoting violent action. You mean themselves? Here, back to the National Pulse piece. That's precisely what Zuckerberg from Facebook announced. Facebook said they will suppress anyone claiming victory on Election Day. That means Trump and his supporters. You're damn right it does. You're damn right it does. But it's not just Facebook. It's others as well. So follow me here. I like to lay this out for you. We have these 2 groups I've discussed planning a post-election coup using specifically 2 tactics. Using street fight violence in the streets and insurgency tactics they practiced overseas, like using social media to topple regimes that won legitimately. They're advertising it right now, and Fakebook's playing right in. Yeah, we won't allow anyone to declare victory. That's not what Fakebook is saying. What Fakebook is saying is we won't allow Trump to declare victory. That's exactly what Fakebook is saying. Now, you know, Twitter, they're worse than Fakebook. So Twitter's got to jump in the mix too. Here's a great Breitbart piece, be in the show notes today again as well, about Twitter, talking about how Twitter's going to do the same thing. Twitter's basically going to say, hey, listen, we're not going to let anybody declare election victory either. Watch when Twitter, in fact, bans President Trump's account after the election. Bans the account or shuts it down. Did I not tell you to throw that piece in there? I'm sorry. I know. There it is. But my wife comes through in the clutch. There she is. Don't edit any of that out because that's my fault. I want to expose how good she is. I didn't tell her to. But there she found it anyway. Breitbart. Twitter will censor Trump if he claims early victory on election night. Alan Bakari, Breitbart. No, they won't. Twitter's just going to censor Trump if Trump wins. To do what? Back to the New York Times piece. If he wins, Fakebook and Twitter are just trying to buy time for what? As we just saw in that piece, the army of lawyers Biden's hired. There we go. legal war room for Biden to create enough chaos. Sounds like a military insurgency overseas using social media. No, right here at home to create enough chaos so the Democrats can start making demands. Demands for what? Oh, we'll get to that. Let's go to takeaway number 2 from the National Pulse. So remember, even if it's a landslide for Trump, the Democrats are going to start making demands. Huh? That's weird. You're going to lose the election and start making demands? The people didn't want you, and you're the ones making demands of what the people wanted? Oh, yeah. Twitter and Fakebook will create enough chaos. They'll create enough chaos in the streets with their street fight. Their words, not mine. That people will start to legitimately wonder if Trump wins. Did he really win? And while people are saying that, the Democrats are going to say, listen, now that we're not sure Trump won and he wants to take the White House, keep in mind, this is if he won convincingly. They don't even talk about a close election. They're going to say, now that we're not sure Trump won, even though he did, here are the demands we have. Really? You're making demands now. Tell me again how this is not a coming coup. Please explain. I'd love to hear it. Screenshot 2 from the National Pulse. Here's page 10 of the Transition Integrity Project. Again, folks, their words, not mine. Quote, in one instance, Team Biden's strategy, in anticipation of an ultimate loss, if they lose, was to strengthen its hand. Strengthen its hand. They lost in order to negotiate a package of structural reforms to the democratic system, including making D.C. and Puerto Rico states, abolishing the Electoral College, and requiring Supreme Court justices to retire at 70? So, am I reading this right? Again, folks, please tell me how this isn't some kind of a coup. I'm open to hearing it. How in their own documents, the tip folks are telling you what they're going to do. Even if we lose convincingly, we're going to cause street violence and social media confusion about who won until we can get D.C. and Puerto Rico statehood. Why do they want that? Because they're both Democratic-leaning territories, yeah. Which would lead to what? 4 new Democrat senators permanently. You'd never have a Republican senator from Puerto Rico and D.C., which would lead to a permanent majority in the United States Senate for the Democrats. Yeah, this has everything to do with representation. Sure it does, folks. Sure it does.